What's up? I'm B and welcome to my channel. I hope you're ready to get enraged so that way we can be on the same level. Today we are talking about Brittany Dawn Davis, Brittany Nelson, Brittany and Jordan Nelson, and the fact that they are apparently going to become foster parents. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that I did do kinship foster care, so I have a little bit of knowledge regarding fostering, the legalities of it, the classes that you have to go through, the requirements that you need to meet if you're doing it through the state as opposed to a private organization, which I assume Brittany and Jordan are, but we'll get into that. And so this topic is not only something that I have, firsthand experience with, it's something very close to my heart, and I have a lot of strong opinions. So we're going to go over the Instagram post of her announcing that they were planning to become foster parents, a reel that she made and a comment that I left on it, and the video that they posted on YouTube. So let's just get straight into it. On July 18th, Brittany Dawn posted a photo to Instagram with the caption, "A secret we've been keeping for the last 4 months. We are becoming foster parents. We are stepping into the foster to adopt program in just a few short months. The biggest blessing of an open door we've ever walked through, and we can't wait to see what the Lord has in store." Now, when Brittany posted this, I was actually on vacation. I didn't see it initially, but I got a DM from Kayla from Kia's World. Love her channel. Make sure you go check it out if you haven't. But she let me know that this had been posted, and I was just going through a whole range of emotions because it's a very complex thing. First and foremost, foster care, taking children into your home that have been disrupted from their biological families, is a massive responsibility. It's hard. It is not an easy thing to do. Some people might take to it a little bit more naturally. Some people might have more training in dealing with children who've been through trauma like that. And some people are still learning and getting better at it. It's not something where it's like you have it or you don't. However, with Brittany Dawn and her history of the things that she's done and how she cycles through pets and just isn't the most reliable person, I have some major concerns. Let's just say that. So I'm going through all of these emotions, and then I noticed something. She said they are entering a foster to adopt program, which tells me that they're probably doing this through a private organization, because a lot of people, especially on Reddit, were talking about they probably won't even get approved, especially with Jordan's history. Is this even something that they're going to be able to do? Now, every state is different, but in most cases, the goal of foster care is reunification. The state typically does not want to have to sever parental rights and adopt that child out. They want the child to be able to go back to their biological parents. The motivation for this, I think, is a little bit scummy, in my opinion. I believe that they do it so that way they don't have to pay adoption stipends and do state-funded healthcare until the children are 18, but that's just based on my experience and the things that I learned when I was doing foster care. But anyway, in general, reunification is what they push for. So, in my experience, I never heard about Arizona having a foster to adopt program. It's either you become a foster parent and you take kids and you work with their biological family and you guys kind of try to work and be a resource and help that reunification happen. Or if it's not going to happen, maybe that child does end up having parental rights severed and they become available for adoption. So if they're already in your home and you would like to adopt them after parental rights are severed, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can just do a straight up adoption. Somebody is in my front yard. This is a side note. We have grass in our front yard right now, and my father-in-law apparently doesn't want grass in the front and the back because he owns the house that we live in. And so they are digging extra lines for the trees out front, and we'll eventually be tearing the grass out and putting rock there. And I never know when people are coming because I'm not the one in control of it. That freaked me out for a little bit. But anyway, so it's either you foster with the understanding that this child might not be in your life forever. They might not be in your home forever. Hopefully they can go back to biological family if that's a healthy and safe option. Or you can just adopt. Like, these children, their parental rights have already been severed. They are living without their parents. They need somebody to adopt them. You can adopt them right away. But that is not the only way to adopt a child. There are private agencies that you can do foster care through and private adoption channels. For example, an influencer that I follow, who I have mixed feelings on sometimes, she works with Safe Families. And so they are a private foster agency where they're faith-based, and they do, it's kind of a voluntary thing where parents are struggling, they go to Safe Families, and Safe Families helps them do what they need to do to kind of work through a tough season. And they have people who take their kids, like families who take their kids while they're working through them, and then the kids go back to the parents. So there are private ways to do it, and I'm assuming that that's what Brittany Dawn is doing. Here's just my thought. I think it seems kind of cruel to enter into a foster to adopt program. And if you've done that, I'm not judging you. Please understand that. I'm not trying to say that you're a bad person if you've done it. But with Brittany Dawn doing it, it's like she doesn't want to do the work of taking care of somebody else's child and helping them through this really tough time and being the emotional support for them, only for them to go back to somebody else. She doesn't want to have to take those kids and do the emotional work and, put her time into them if she doesn't get to keep them, in my opinion. And then I think, okay, well, why wouldn't she just adopt? Why wouldn't she just go out and adopt a child? Maybe because she has a hard time committing to things, and so she's gonna, test them out. She's gonna give them a trial run. As disgusting as that sounds, please know I understand how gross that sounds when I'm talking about a child. But that's where I think she is kind of mentally. She doesn't want to just straight up adopt a kid, because then what if the kid isn't the perfect vision of what she had in mind for her family? What if they pick out, oh, it's the perfect child, he'll fit right in, or she'll fit right in, and then that child has behavioral issues or trauma, or they have violent tendencies because of what they've gone through, or they have psychological issues that require serious treatment that maybe they didn't know about and develop over time. Then they have to take care of that kid because they adopted that child. They could disrupt that adoption. They could say, we no longer want to be adoptive parents to this child, and legally there's a way to do it, but how would that look for Brittany? So if they do foster to adopt, it gives them that trial period. It gives them that time to make sure this is something they really want to commit to. And that's even if they do go through with it, because she says they're in training, but they literally haven't even taken a placement yet. So who knows what'll happen. But those were initially my thoughts, is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's doing this. Being a foster parent takes a lot of compassion and empathy and really putting somebody else above yourself. And I have concerns about Brittany Dawn being able to do that. And that's kind of relates to the comment that I left on one of her reels. So let's just get into that. Brittany posted a reel where the message of it was new level, new devil. She enters into a Christ-centered marriage. Demonic attacks, spiritual warfare. She saves herself for purity until she and Jordan get married. Demonic attacks, spiritual warfare. Becomes foster parent, spiritual warfare. And seeing her say that she is a foster parent, which she has not even taken a placement yet, and we don't even know if they're done with their training yet, which is something that we'll get into when we watch the video that they posted on YouTube. I'm like, you cannot just say that you're a foster parent. It pissed me off. It really made me so angry. I have so much respect for people who do kinship foster care, or just foster care of people who are not in their families. And so for her to say, like, to claim that title when that's not something that she's even done yet, was really upsetting. So I did leave a comment, and I will read it to you. I composed myself and I said, I say this with all sincerity, no ill intent. It is extremely offensive to label yourself as a foster parent when you haven't even completed your training to become licensed, according to your video posted 2 days ago. This was obviously a few weeks back. Fostering is a huge, life-changing responsibility, not something to use for brownie points in a reel. I wish you the best on your parenthood journey, but I hope you remember that if you do take a foster placement, you will be impacting real lives of children and their bio families, not just getting a new angle for social media. Now, like I said, that was about 2 weeks ago, but I just went and checked her reel, and my comment is still there. I can still see it, so she didn't delete it. That's great. I at least appreciate that, but I would love for her to kind of address these preemptive concerns that a lot of people are having, that she is just doing this to look good and to kind of, on social media to get brownie points, basically, to create a certain image of herself. And no doubt, like I have no doubt in my mind that she will use this as a way to grow her following if she does end up taking a foster placement. And I also think she's using it for her case to kind of become an upstanding member of society, an upstanding citizen. Oh, I foster, look at, I'm a mom now. So how could I be a criminal, right? You know, you get those vibes. But that's what I left on her reel. Nobody responded to it. Nobody had anything to say about it, but it's still up there. And now let's go ahead and watch the video that they posted talking about why they decided to become foster parents, even though they haven't done it yet.
We're here.
We're here.
Yeah. What are we doing?
I have a mint in my mouth.
Okay.
So it sounds like I'm talking funny, that's all.
Oh.
We need to do our introduction.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to our channel.
We clapped at the same time. That was pretty good. Before we get started, I just want to say what up to all the trolls out there.
Shout out to our Reddit friends.
Yeah. And though we don't read your material, some of our friends tell us about it, and they've...
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
actually,
it's impressive.
Some of the things that we learn about ourselves on there.
Yeah. Anyways.
People literally just post the things that you post and make comments about the things that you put on the internet. I'm sure yeah, of course, there's some speculation about your motives or what might be going on behind the scenes, but mostly it's just, Brittany posted this and here's my opinion on it.
We are here to share about a very exciting, life-changing decision. This mint in my mouth is driving me crazy. Okay, we are here to share about a really exciting decision.
Yep.
And just kind of share about the story behind it, as far as like how we knew that the Lord was asking us to step out in this. And it is date night, so we're gonna try to make this as short and sweet as possible because we are hungry and I really want Mexican food.
Yep. That's every day though.
Every day of my life.
I mean, I think you made a post. We're excited to
Sorry, I had to pause to sneeze.
be foster parents here in the state of Texas. One of the reasons is, we've been married for what,
10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
And, we're trying to naturally have a baby ourselves, but we haven't been successful so far.
March, but yeah.
Yeah, and so we're not successful. So it's been on our hearts to do what we can, not only given us not being able to have.
Okay, so they've been married less than a year and they are trying to have a child. Everybody can do their own thing, totally fine. However, they've not been together for that long. They weren't even together that long before they got married. And so in general, I just think it's really great to kind of spend more time getting to know each other, your dynamics, how you handle stress, all of those things before you decide to bring a child into the world or bring a child into your home. Because y'all just haven't been together that long. That seems like so much change happening all at once. And like I said, I do suspect the timing of this is a little bit calculated, but man, the thought of, and I guess that they are a little bit older, so it makes it a bit different. You know, they're in their 30s. And so, yeah, maybe that's part of why they're doing it so quickly, or they're trying to do it so quickly. But the thought of dating like less than a year, getting married, being married less than a year, and then having a child, it's not for me. Everybody can do their own thing. Everyone can do their own thing. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just like, man, I would spend a little bit more time like living together and getting to know each other and getting into the groove of your relationship. But that's just me. And then Brittany also did post another picture on Instagram talking about how this wasn't plan B. Fostering wasn't plan B. And she was so upset to see so many people having negative opinions on their decision to become foster parents. You know what? Let me just read it to you. I've been appalled at responses some have given us as we shared the news that we are soon to be foster parents. So you guys are struggling with infertility then. Why wouldn't you just wait to see if you can conceive on your own? There's going to be so much trauma, you'll never make it past the first child. And there lies my heart's concern. Since when are we living in a time where fostering children, opening our homes to the little ones in need has become the backup option, plan B, or alternate route? The if we can't get pregnant, then we will foster or adopt conversation. Jordan's literally saying, oh, we're trying and we haven't been successful, so it's been on our hearts. This is not computing in my head how she can be like, why would you guys say this when literally that's what they're saying? We've been trying and we haven't been successful, so this has been on our hearts. The rest of her caption says, "We aren't struggling with infertility. I break that word curse off of me in the name of Jesus, and we don't believe that foster care should be a second choice. But it is your second choice, because you were trying to have a biological child first." Our hearts leapt at the thought of becoming foster parents since we first met, and the Lord started stirring our hearts at such a time as this. Girl, just speak normally. Like, all right, we don't need the Bible lingo. That's not even how you use that phrase. It's for such a time as this, not at such a time as this, if you're speaking Bibleese or Christianese. But anyway, because in case you haven't noticed, the children in foster care have never been in such need. What could be contributing to that? I can't think of a single thing that recently happened that might contribute to more children being placed in foster care. Can you? Is it going to be hard? Yes. Will we take in children with layers of trauma? Yes. Will it require sacrifice? Yes. Is foster parenting hard? Yes. Is being a parent in general hard? Yes. But Jesus still sits on the throne. While I've never been a mom in my 31 years of life, I fully believe the Lord has given me a mother's heart, that He is preparing me and us from the inside out for every child that will call our place a home, whether temporarily or long term. It's been a beautiful ride of emotions leading up to this season we are stepping into, because our home is not our own. And if God is asking us to open our doors to those in need, then that is undoubtedly what we will do. Sometimes stepping out in faith looks crazy to everyone around you, but God isn't asking us to yield to them. He is asking us to yield to Him. God is writing the story of our family one puzzle piece at a time. To everyone that has encouraged and supported us near or afar, thank you. It never goes unnoticed. It's not plan B. Why would you say that? Oh, we've been trying to get pregnant and it hasn't happened yet. So we've been thinking about it.
A baby naturally so far yet.
In God's timing, we're believing for that.
But we feel called to seek out to foster children and possibly adopt one, two.
What a blessing.
Yeah. So
why would you enter a foster to adopt program then if you're saying like, oh, we might adopt them? Why don't you just do foster care through the state of Texas? I wonder if it's because when you do that, you're not allowed to share identifying information about the child. I wonder if that might be why, because you wouldn't be able to post pictures of them where their face is in it, and you would have to like block it out, and that would ruin the aesthetic. You know, I think there's plenty of reasons that they're not doing it through the state of Texas, but that's definitely one reason that comes to mind. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's a little bit harsh, but that's how I feel. That's part of why I think they wouldn't do it through the state of Texas. I think there are multiple reasons why they're not doing it through the state, but that's just one of them from how I've seen Brittany present herself on the internet.
Like I said, there's a story behind it. So back in January, we were in church, and Pastor Landon at Mercy Culture gave a prophetic word over the church, and one of those, it was about expanding territory. I'll try to link the video below so that you can watch it if you want to see it. One of the subcategories of that was expanding family, correct? Yeah, expanding families. And then the subcategory of that was expanding families through.
This is a whole other can of worms, but it's why I wanted to play the video as well, because far too many Christians enter into adopting children in order to spread God's kingdom. They explicitly adopt children for the reason of making them Christian and making more Christians in the world. And I think that that motivation is so wrong. It's like this white Christian savior thing of having to come in and adopt children and make sure they're Christian and expand the kingdom of God. It just feels icky to me. If you're a Christian and you adopt a child and you raise them Christian, yeah, okay, that makes sense because you would raise them in the same faith that you're in, but you shouldn't adopt a child purely to make them into a Christian so there's more Christians in the world. You should adopt a child because you want to be a parent and you feel called to adopt because you want to bring a child into your home and take care of them and show them love and grace and fun and just make them part of your family while also still respecting whatever choice they make as they get older, whether they're going to be Christian or not. Like, you can't force a child to believe something, and you can't adopt a child just to make them believe in Christianity.
Foster and adoption. And so we're sitting there and like, I'll never forget, like we're like holding hands and like we all have our heads down and Pastor Landon's giving this prophetic word. or no, it wasn't even that. It was during the message. We didn't have our heads down. I was just holding your hand. And
she said, I'll never forget. This is how it happened. And then a second later, oh, wait, no, that's not how it happened. It was during the message. You can't write this.
Pastor Landon's like, expanding families. And I was like, grabbing your hand. I'm like, babe, that's for us. Like, we're going to get pregnant this year, which we still could very well. It's only July. But I was like, we're going to get pregnant this year. And like, this is for us. And then he went in to say, and I'm totally butchering it, but he said, there's people in here who have put fostering as their second option or adoption as their second option. And the Lord is seeing that as your first. And I was undone. I was just wrecked because we've talked about foster and adoption for the entirety of us knowing each other.
I think it's something that's been on both of our hearts for a really long time.
And then, so that happened. And so I was already a wreck, and we just kind of prayed into that through that church service. And literally, like, I'm one of those people that is like, Lord, send me a bright pink bus to confirm that you just told me what you told me. And God always does it. Not literally, I've never seen a bright pink bus, but you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
So I was praying like, Lord, if this word is for us, will you send us confirmation? And literally at the end of the service, this girl who is now one of my sweet friends, I was actually at the beach with her this morning with her two precious adopted children. I didn't know who she was. I watched her. She was like 3 rows ahead of us. She got up and beelined towards us. And she stood in front of me and she was like, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I know I don't know you, but I feel like the Lord just wants me to tell you that he sees you as a foster and adoptive mom. And I just was wrecked. Yeah. I was so wrecked. Moment. It was such a sweet moment. It could not have been any more clear that that was what the Lord was asking of us in this season. And so, because we always saw it as something we would do like years down the road, like second or third child kind of thing. And so ever since then, we have been actively, pretty much right away, we prayed into it for about a month and fasted. And then we kind of actively started looking for agencies, and we found one, and they're amazing. Yeah. And it's just been such a God moment. You know
what's funny is in her retelling that story, she's looking at Jordan. It kind of feels like when you're with your partner or your spouse and somebody is asking you guys to go do something, and maybe you don't want to do that thing. And so you're kind of like looking at them to see if they don't want to do it either. And you're, oh, maybe we'll do that, but we'll have to talk about it. I'm not so sure that we'll be able to make it, right? It's kind of that vibe.
Shoring up things and completing the process. We should be complete here pretty quick.
In like a month or two.
Yeah.
Which is so wild.
They're as excited as we are, and
they're amazing.
As everyone.
They're not even done with the process yet. They haven't even completed whatever training it is that they're required to do, or filled out all the paperwork, or whatever it may be. They're not even done with it yet. And Brittany Dawn is posting on her Instagram that she's a foster mom.
Probably knows. I mean, there's no shortage of kiddos to adopt right now.
Especially with the Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, to take care of babies and love on them and give them a safe place to grow up in.
So that was our exciting news. We just kind of wanted to share the backstory. That's also why I have been so absent on here lately, because life has just been crazy for us, and we've been in. Sorry, my eyelash keeps getting stuck together. We've been in all sorts of like trainings and just intensive things with this whole process. And I believe that there's times in life where certain things just need to take a backseat. And YouTube is always that backseat for me. So that is.
Yeah, she hasn't been posting YouTube videos, but she's been posting Amazon links on the daily and affiliate links to make money that way. Why would she need to post on YouTube?
Is kind of where we're at, and
pray for us.
Pray. Lots of prayers. Yeah. And if you are a foster mom or foster parent or adoptive mom or parent, like, we would love any advice and tips in the comments. We've never done this at all before, and the Lord has so evidently had his hand all over this. So any advice, tips are welcome, except from our Reddit friends.
It's date night time.
Yay! Okay, well, that is all.
Bye.
We will... what he said. Thank you guys so much for stopping in on our channel, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
All right, so she wanted advice from foster or adoptive parents. The advice that I will give her, if they do end up going through with this, is that it will be hard. It will be difficult. If you take a child into your home that has been disrupted, and you don't know how many times they've been disrupted, maybe this is the first time that this has happened, the child hasn't been in other foster homes, and it's their first placement, it's gonna be hard. That child's not gonna understand what's going on. That child's gonna be confused. That child's gonna be upset. That child is going to come with trauma. If you have a kid in your home, I mean, they've said babies, but I don't know, maybe they'll be open to a little bit older kids. Maybe you get a little bit of an older kid and they've been in multiple placements, or this isn't the first time that they've been disrupted from their parent. They have had multiple disruptions in their lifetime, and now they're landing at your doorstep. That will come with layers of trauma, just like the first scenario, but it will also come with behavioral issues. There might be food insecurity. They might not attach to you. They might not want anything to do with you. They might be disrespectful to you because they see you as the villain who's taking them away from their parent. And you have to be the adult, and you have to understand that that's normal and not let it get to you. And I don't know if Jordan and Brittany can do that. And I don't think any kid is going to be like, oh, I'm so excited to go into a foster home. This is going to be amazing. It's like a vacation. They're not going to be excited to be with you. You're going to have to, in most cases, you're going to have to build up a relationship and a rapport, and you're going to have to make them feel as comfortable as possible and focus on them and their well-being and not your own ego or your own emotions. You have to act in the way that is best for that child. So that would be my advice. Apparently she doesn't want it. I've never posted on her Reddit thread, but I certainly look at it every now and then. So, she doesn't want advice from Reddit friends, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, because if they do end up going through with this, I want them to be prepared, and I want them to do it in the best way possible, even though I'm not a big fan of them. But I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. I hope, like I said, that if they do end up going through with it, it goes well. I do wish them luck. I hope that if they take a child into their home, they are capable of doing those things that you need to do to be a successful foster or adoptive parent, and I wish them the best on it. But let me know what you think about all of this, their motivation, why they're doing it in this time, if you think it's genuine, or if you have some of the same doubts that I have. Leave that all in the comment section down below, and while you are doing that, if you'd consider liking this video or subscribing to my channel, that would be incredible. And if you're subscribed already, thank you so much. I am so appreciative of you, and I love being able to just sit here, hang out with you, and talk about whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.